The Doctor Who Centenary special, the final of the 3 specials we are getting this year, and the one that is of course going to feature the regeneration of the 13th Doctor. And it'll be no surprise to you that little is known about this story, not least, how will 13 regenerate exactly? Who or what will cause her death? Well everyone, that's what we're seeking to answer today, as I have a look at some of your suggestions. We're reading Twitter and YouTube basically. I really tried to make that sound exciting, but it's hard to come up with new ideas for content these days, what can I say? But before we get into it, if you could just do me a teeny tiny little favour and click that subscribe button, I'd be very much appreciative. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we could get there, it would be absolutely wonderful. We're about like 24 subscribers from 10.4k at the time I'm recording this, so if we could get there, that would be brilliant. But with that said, let's get into the video. Our first suggestion comes from Adzinko, who says, IDK, but I hope it's when she's alone. So these guys from Demons of the Punjab show up, showing a picture of the Tharries, who, for those of you who aren't aware, in Demons of the Punjab were the aliens who came along to basically honour the dead. And yeah, I think it makes total sense for these guys to show up again at 13's regeneration. It would kind of have vibes of the Ood in End of Time type deal. And we know that Chibnall likes to sort of take little bits from other eras, the RTD era in particular, so I could definitely see him doing something like that. You add on the cameo of Carl from Woman Who Fell to Earth in the recent Eve of the Daleks, it very much seems like Chibnall's trying to make this feel like a climactic final run of episodes, so incorporating more stuff from Series 11, specifically the Tharries, makes total sense. This next one from Colin Hogg says she'll die trying to save Yaz. Now this is an interesting suggestion because obviously we recently got it confirmed that Thasmin would be a thing going forward, at least in these next 2 episodes. So 13 quote unquote sacrificing herself for the woman she loves would make sense. It'd be very cliche, but yeah, for an ending, I think that would make sense to happen. Ollie says, I think she'll go in a similar way to Tennant. Probably radiation poisoning, however it would be interesting if she took a hit from something protecting Yaz. So again, a similar idea there. Radiation poisoning's an interesting one. We haven't had a Doctor die of that since I believe Tennant. It's most certainly a possible one. What exactly could lead to the radiation poisoning? I don't know. Maybe she could be doing something with the TARDIS. Maybe she could be trying to figure out a way to destroy the villains, and in doing so, using a lot of radiation or something. But yeah, a solid theory, and again kind of falls in line with what we've been saying before about Chibnall taking stuff from RTD. There's a lot of people saying that the Master will be the reason, and honestly I'm inclined to agree, and that's the thing I'm most sure about in this whole video. We've basically had it confirmed that the Master's coming back at this point, not only through the set filming images, but by them literally saying, beware the forces that mass against you, and their Master, very heavily implying that the Master will be the one to return for Jodie's final story. And yeah, I think it makes perfect sense for the Master to be the one to kill the Doctor. I assume he would still feel quite vengeful about being blown up during the Timeless Children, or at least Ko-Sharmus attempting to blow him up in the Timeless Children. If we remember, he escaped along with the Cyber Masters, so I definitely think we could see a reincorporation of them. But yeah, I do think the Master will be the one to kill her. I think it would be thematically correct. You know, the person who kind of broke the Master in this version of the show when he found out about the Timeless Child getting his revenge on her. James W says she opens the fob watch and the overwhelming info dump causes her identity to shift and change, becoming someone more akin to who she is now and the one she used to be combined. That's actually a really neat little theory actually. I don't think the 14th Doctor will tie in to the Timeless Child stuff in any way, to be honest. However, the idea of the memories overwhelming the Doctor's mind and that being the cause of the regeneration, could totally see something like that happening as well. Kablam Media, very fitting name, says she'll die of a broken heart after all the build-up to the Timeless Child revelations weren't worth the wait. This is kind of unrelated, but I'm saying now, I don't think we're going to get any form of satisfying resolution to the Timeless Child arc. I reckon we'll get answers for some things, but I don't think it'll be seen as satisfying in the least. But dying of a broken heart, again, it's kind of the cliche thing I could see Chibnall doing, honestly. Robert Valentine says, I think the Time Lords will return and force the 13th Doctor to regenerate. This is an interesting one because we know the Time Lords exist in Jodie's universe. We've seen Gat, and we've also seen Tecteun and Division operatives and stuff. So the idea of them coming to take down 13, especially after what she's learnt, that's an interesting one, and I do believe that makes sense. especially considering we know that the last time we saw the Master, he was on Gallifrey. The Cyber Time Lords are converted Time Lords, so I could see the Time Lords wanting revenge on both the Doctor and the Master. Human Being says drugs, and honestly, that's the outcome I'm hoping for. Ooh, I'm Doctor Who, I'm gonna die! Something Strange YT says frog. Yes. But let me know in the comments below how you think 13 will die. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Quick shout outs to Debs Iona, Simon Ashley, Shane Smith, Patrick Mewson, Bree Kevin, Seb Lowndes, Jay Monroe, Preston, and Hash Shandycoot. If you want to become a member, feel free to do so. It really helps out. You get exclusive posts, shout outs in every video, and even your own badge and custom emojis to use during live streams. And I will see you later.